used in makeup that wasn't blessed by the fucking...
Yeah, that is my fake story for the for that 5.
Okay, here we go. Here comes the coup de grace now.
The coup de grace. Yeah,
I thought these were the best 5 that I drew.
I figured that these were the best 5 too in the next set of 5.
Oh yeah, these are good.
You guys are using some Latin there that involves a very specific situation.
Kevin, story number 1. Indiana man arrested for theft of $20,000 worth of clothing, a majority of which was women's underwear.
Oh yeah, that's definitely doable. Yep.
Story number 2, Indiana man arrested for reckless driving after topping his speed off at 160 miles per hour in a Dodge.
Wait, hold that back again?
Indiana man arrested for reckless driving after topping his speed out at 160 miles per hour in his Dodge.
That's a fake one. Dodgers don't go that fast.
Story number 3. 2 Indiana men arrested for armed robbery in a Taco Bell drive-thru of 2 Indy 500 drivers.
They robbed 2 Indy 500 drivers?
They robbed 2 Indy 500 drivers in the drive-thru of Taco Bell. Story number 4. Indiana man arrested for drunk driving found brain and liver samples inside his car. Story number 5. Indiana man arrested for attempted murder. The victim called Uber instead of an ambulance.
I'm going to say true on that. That's been done before. Uber is cheaper than an ambulance. And sometimes your Uber driver could be a nurse.
True fact. True fact.
Nurses aren't paid enough. Just throwing that out there. Nurses
Kevin, we'll start off with you on this one. What are you thinking?
I'm going...
This is a tough one. This is a real tough one.
I'm going the Dodge story is definitely false. Dodges don't go that fast. 160 miles an hour. There's something not true about that, even if it is a true story, because who the hell clocks a Dodge at 160 miles an hour? Have you ever owned a Dodge? If you have owned a Diamond Chrysler, you know that shit is snapping out.
I owned one Dodge in my life. One Dodge.
One Dodge? I'm guessing a Neon or a Ram.
No, it was a Dodge. Man, it was an older car.
Their names for their vehicles sound like bad toys. You can get at the fucking dollar store.
So you're going with story number 2 as the false story.
Yep.
Sparkalicious, what are you thinking, brother?
They're all true.
Sparkalicious.
Sparky, I've noticed that you like to go all true for all the stories.
I don't know what, for some strange odd reason, there's just nothing that says, massive stupidity like these stories, and I love them all.
True. All right.
Stat
Girl, what's Stat Girl going with?
And I definitely know there's at least 3 of them that are 100% true.
Okay. How about Stat Girl?
She's sleeping.
Oh, okay. All right. Story number 1. Already.
She was doing 55 and a 35, and she just boom. That was it. She was done.
Good.
Yeah, I can guarantee you, if she was doing 55 and a 35, she was driving a Dodge because it didn't get past 55.
Because they only top out at 55.
The goddamn thing was all messed up.
Story number 1: Indiana man arrested for theft of $20,000 worth of clothing, a majority of which was women's underwear. True story. Sparky, let's see that wonderful picture.
You want to see this wonderful picture?
I got me a bunch of panties to smell.
Need I say anymore? I kind of figured that it was some kind of Victoria's Secret wrap-up. So,
oh yeah.
Funny story behind this one. And just like any other story, there's always something funny behind it. Apparently, he was shoplifting from a bunch of different stores, including Victoria's Secret. He then sold all of the clothing from the back of his truck at gas stations, salons, and liquor stores. He would sell the underwear for $3 each.
A little bit of a profit there. I like it. A little bit of a racket.
Yeah, he had quite the racket going on. Like I said, the majority of his clothing was women's underwear, and that was his clientele. He went to gas stations, salons, and liquor stores where the women were a little bit more thrifty with the money, and he would sell them out of the back of his trunk.
And with the underwear that he ended up not selling, he just shoved up his own ass. I mean, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win for him. Story number 2, Indiana man arrested for reckless driving after topping his speed off at 160 miles an hour in his Dodge.
True story.
It is a true story.
It is bullshit that he was going 160 miles an hour.
There is one particular Dodge that you forgot.
He must have been going downhill. Plane pushed him.
Well, no, actually, there's 2 or 3 Dodges that have specific tune-up engines. But a Viper is one, a Stealth is number 2, and a Challenger is number 3.
The fuel injection on all those cars you just named cuts off at 140 miles an hour. So that cop report was
incorrect, my friend. Incorrect, my friend. They top off at 189 miles an hour.
9 miles an hour.
Apparently, this guy who was doing reckless driving.
When did the engineers get down and say, "Okay, 149, then we'll cut it off"?
160, officer. I swear I was only doing 159.
I like it.
Apparently, this guy was going through COVID. It's actually a recent story. And apparently for the COVID lockdown, there aren't a lot of people on toll roads in Indiana.
So they punch it on the toll roads.
This dude punched it. He punched his Hellcat Challenger. And he said, apparently I could have gone to 189, 190 miles an hour. But he was clocked at 160 by this cop. And apparently he told the cop, "Oh man, I could have gone a lot faster. Why did you stop me?"
Did the cop jump in and they tried doing it then?
I don't know. Like after that point of 160 miles an hour, like you're already doing reckless driving. You're already like.
I guarantee the cops caught him because they were driving Fords.
No, believe it or not, a lot of the cops these days, some of them drive Challengers in some states.
Some of them do have Hellcat Challengers, yeah.
So it was like a challenge.
It was a challenge to catch up with them. Story number 3, 2 Indiana men arrested for armed robbery of a Taco Bell drive-thru of 2 Indy 500 drivers.
100% absolutely true.
It is a true story. The 2 Indy 500 drivers, which were Scott Dixon and Dario Franchitti. Franchitti, I'm sorry, Franchitti.
This had to have been the same criminal that ended up texting a cop if he wanted any drugs.
Franchitti is what's her name's husband? That actress. She was in the movie Bug. What's her name?
Was she in any other movies?
I can't think of her name at the moment. Hold on. But she.
Anyways,
I'll look it up. Just give me a minute.
No, that's all right. I'll tell about the story a little bit. Apparently, the 2 people that robbed the Indy 500 drivers were aged 14 and 15.
Oh, so they were kids. Okay.
They were kids.
Yep.
And we better have a good getaway driver. Is Jake driving? Oh crap! Now these guys also had a lucrative sponsorship deal with Taco Bell at that time.
That's the reason why they went to the drive-thru.
That's why they went through the drive-thru. Yeah.
They were. What happened is they qualified for the Indy 500, and they got hungry because qualifying ran late, so they decided to go to Taco Bell because it would have helped with the sponsorship. And what happened is they got robbed.
They got robbed in the
really
drive-thru.
food to be driving fast on, though. You know, that's food to avoid some bumps with.
Hey, can I get the chalupa box and can you call the cops because I got robbed?
That's one way to save on your minutes, right?
I wonder if that costs $5 for their box.
Ashley Judd, that's who he's married to.
Oh, Ashley Judd.
She was in so many more movies besides Bug.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That was the most recent one.
You could have named you could have named a game show Jeopardy and said the word double in front of it, and there you go. You got a movie right there.
Double
Jeopardy, yeah.
Double Jeopardy, yeah. Yep. You can't watch Double Jeopardy twice because it's against the law.
All right, let's get into our last stories here. Story number 4, Indiana man arrested for drunk driving, found brain and liver samples inside his car. True story.
True story.
This one I was also a little suspicious on, but
Yes, I am drunk, but hauling medical waste is not a crime. That's actually pretty accurate, Sparky. That was pretty good. Apparently working for the coroner's office and having medical samples in the car while you pounded down a half a bottle of vodka, which is still in your console.
Very sturdy place to keep your vodka.
Yeah.
Right there.
Clearly, he was carrying samples for forensics. Believe it or not, he was carrying forensic samples, and that's when he got pulled over because he was driving erratically. And said, "Oh, excuse me, wait, you work at the coroner's office? Oh, wait, that's a bottle of vodka."
He didn't even try hiding the vodka in something called Gatorade. You know, you go pour it in there, mix it around. He was just, wow, man. He must have seen way too many dead bodies. He's just like, I don't even want my job anymore.
Way done with life.
Fucking Bill Murray Groundhog Day, and it's just like, what if tomorrow doesn't exist?
Story number 5, Indiana man arrested for attempted murder. The victim called Uber instead of an ambulance is a true story. These are all true.
There you go. Take a look at that bad boy.
I am shot. Hello, Uber. Do you do hospital drives?
Uber works like that.
Yeah. Uber doesn't work like that. And apparently this Uber driver actually stopped halfway between there and the hospital in order to get the guy an ambulance because he was bleeding out in his car.
Those are things you don't want to explain.
No.
To any car.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like a water bottle or a mint? Oh, don't mind the blood back there. That's okay.
Yeah, take that guy, tell him, clean up a little bit.
And that wraps up Indiana Man. Fun-filled non-meth stories from the north.
No meth involved.
No meth.
That's the weird part.
Yeah, a lot of drunk, reckless, special inbred people from Indiana.
Yeah, they are kind of like the country. Like where the Midwest kind of starts, and then they run into the city when they hit Illinois.
Yeah. Yeah. They love their alcohol in Indiana.
Well, what else do they have out there? I mean,
nothing.
You have Notre Dame football, right?
They have Indianapolis.
But the drivers keep getting robbed at Taco Bell.
Yeah, they have Indianapolis, and that's all they have. Yeah.
They should have let the drivers catch them in the car.
Actually, when they went to get away, the getaway driver did crash the car.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's how they got caught. But
Jesus Christ, can't even rob people correctly in Indiana. They suck at crime.
Yeah, they suck at that.
Just stick to their Bible dwelling in closet homosexuality.
Sparky, where can you happen to find us if